Here is application of chain rule where we'll try to evaluate a derivative for a composite function. Now composite function means we are giving y as a function of u and u as a function of x. So ultimately, and we are trying to find relation between y and x. Do you see that? That's a composite function, right? So we have here that y is a function of u and u is a function of x. So it's a composite function. And we're trying to find dy dx, dy dx. So whenever we do this and we're trying to find derivative, we'll move from outside to inside. So that's a strategy to follow, right? Another thing which we need to understand here is we want to evaluate the value of derivative at x equals to 4. Now we're given x equals to 4, but then at x equals to 4, what is the value of u? So let's calculate that also. So u equals to 4 square root plus 4 over 10. And that gives us 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 over 10, or we can write 3 over 5. So at x equals to 4, u is equals to 3 over 5. So we'll use this value later when we are trying to find the derivative at x equals to 4. Okay? So let's start with the outside function, which is y equals to u plus 4 divided by u minus 4. So we have y equals to u plus 4 divided by u minus 4. Let's find dy over du. And that is, it is good to write this in, let's use quotient rule, right? U minus 4 whole square, derivative of the first function, which is 1, times the second function, which is u minus 4, minus derivative of second function, which is 1, times derivative of times the first function, right? That's, so what do we get? U minus u is 0, minus 4 is minus 8, so we get minus 8 over u minus 4 whole square. So that's the value of dy by du. Now let's find du by dx. So we'll have du over dx, and we are using this function. So here 1 over 10 is just a constant, right? So let's write 1 over 10 here. And within brackets, derivative of square root x plus x. Derivative of square root x is 1 over 2 square root x. And derivative of x is 1. So that is the derivative of du dx. Now, if you want to find what is dy by dx, then dy by dx will be equals to dy by du times du dx, correct? So we already have dy dx, which is here simplified to this place. Let's write down this place, and this is du dx. We'll use equations 1 and 2 and get dy dx, correct? So let me do it on this side of the page. So we have dy dx as equal to dy du, which is minus 8 over u minus 4 whole square, times du dx, which is 1/10 of all this, right? So let me write this as, we'll write this as 2 square root x. We'll take common denominator and write, right? So we get 2 square root x here as the numerator, plus 1 over, so I could have written 1 plus, it's one and the same thing. 2 times 10 is 20, 20 square root x. So I kind of simplified it when moving on to this step, right? I'm running short of space, so I'm just doing 2 steps at a time. So what I did was, I took common denominator as 2 square root x, so I got 1 plus 2 square root x. And when I open the bracket, that 10 gets multiplied by 2, giving me 20, right? That's how I get this equation. Now let's find dy dx at x equals to 4. We also saw when x is 4, then u is 3 over 5, correct? So we can write here u equals to 3 over 5. So that helps. Now we'll substitute u as 3 over 5 and x as 4 and then solve our equation, correct? So let's do that. So we have minus 8 over 3 over 5 minus 4 whole square times 2 times square root of 4 plus 1 over 20 times square root of 4. Correct? So that is what we have here now. Let's try to simplify it further. Do as much as you can. 2 will go 10 times, and this can be simplified. Okay, we can do it later, because we get some more numbers which can cancel out, right? So let's take common denominator. We'll do all this simplification a bit later. So we'll write minus 8 here, and here we have 5 times 4 is 20. So 3 minus 20. Let me write 3 minus 20 over 5 whole square. That's the denominator, right? Here we have not cancelled. Okay, let's say it is 1. Okay, and here we have 10 at the moment, right? So anyway, square root of 4 is 2. So we can't cancel. I'm sorry, we can't cancel. This is not a closed bracket. So it is 2 times, so it's there. Okay, wait. So 2 times square root 4 is 2 times 2, 4, plus 1, 5. So we get 5 in the numerator, and in the denominator we have 20 times 2. Correct? So that is how it should be. Sorry for that rush. Now, so it is clear we have not cancelled. We cannot cancel it. It is not a common factor. I didn't see that properly. Now it is 2 times square root of 4 plus 1. Square root of 4 is 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. Do you see that? That's how we get 5 here. And we have 20 times square root of 4 is 2. 20 times 2. So that is in the denominator right there. Okay. Now we will simplify this further. As you can see from here, okay, so we'll cross out all the numbers later. Let me keep them for the time being. It seems to be complicated, but it isn't that. So we have a minus 8 in the numerator, and then this is minus 17 square, right? And this is 5 squared. So from the denominator, I'm bringing 5 square in the numerator, right? So let me write 5 square here, right? Times 5 over 20 times 2, correct? So that is what we have. Now at this stage, let's simplify it a bit, right? So we get 8, okay. So this goes 4 times. This is 40, right? So 8 goes 5 times. Do you see that? And 5 and 5 cancel out. So that is how we can cancel these terms. And we are left with, let me write here, 5 square over 17. This becomes positive. So we get minus 5 square is 25. And 17 square we can find with the calculator. 289. So that seems to be the answer for us, right? So I hope it is right. I'm not very sure about it. There are some calculations which we did here which could go wrong. So I will suggest have a look at this, correct? And it's kind of close. So let's go through it once again. So what we had here is we had a function y equals to u plus 4 divided by u minus 4, and we found the derivative using quotient rule, and then we calculated this to be minus 8 over u minus 5 whole square, right? And then we did derivative of this, and we found that to be 1 over 10, 1 over 2 square root x plus 1. Now, dy dx is product of these two, which we multiplied here, and then we try to simplify this expression after placing x equals to 4 and u as 3 over 5. So at this stage, it is minus 8, 3 over 5 minus 4 and all this. And nothing has been cancelled at this stage, nor can you cancel. It was a wrong thing to do. Now here it is 3 minus 4. So it is 4 times 5 is 20. So you got 5 square, which comes on the numerator. 3 minus 20 is minus 17, which is in the denominator. And here we have 8 times 5, which is 40. And this is also 20 times 2, which is also 40. So ultimately all this got cancelled with 8. Do you see that? 8 times 5 is 40 and 20 times 2 is also 40. All that got cancelled. So we are left with this 5 square on the numerator and 285 in the denominator, right? So that becomes the derivative at the point x equals to 4. So that is our answer. So our answer now here is minus 25 over 289. So that seems to be correct answer for me. Do check calculations once again, but I hope you understand the method the way we have done it. Thank you and all the best.